It's as simple as A, B, C. And A is activist judges, B is benefits, and C is children. And what I'd like to say is that activist judges is really the main reason we're here tonight. Because the voters already voted on this with Prop 22. 4 million voters voted to have the definition of marriage in California as one man, one woman. They already voted. 4 judges in a 4-3 decision decided that they would use their personal judgment in lieu of interpreting law. And what they did was make law. So what we have here, the real crux of this, is we have a situation where the branches of government have been blurred, and we have an overreaching judiciary. And I will tell you, as we speak today, and you saw the local controversy here with the county clerk, what was that all about? You asked, why didn't she perform these marriages? Well, I'll tell you why. The statutes have not been changed, and they have not been changed to this date. The Supreme Court in a 4-3 decision only did one thing. They overturned Prop 22. That is one paragraph in the Family Code. All the rest of the Family Code still says man and woman to this day. The legislature has never acted. Laws are to be made by the legislature, not by the judges. We have a Supreme Court opinion. The legislature has never acted. And if we're going to have to be a rule of law and follow the Constitution, our judiciary needs to follow the Constitution also. So that's why we're here today. We're having to go to a constitutional amendment, which our founding fathers never envisioned they would have to enshrine the definition of marriage in the Constitution. They felt our country was rooted in Judeo-Christian tradition and theology, and a moral basis, as Thomas Jefferson stated. So when you look at that, we are having to go to a very extraordinary measure here, to go to the Constitution, to change it in the state of California, to prevent judges from making law rather than just interpreting law. So that's about activist judges. I would encourage all of you to read the dissenting opinions. You can get them online. They're very enlightening. One of the most liberal members of that court said, no, this was a bad decision. Justice Corrigan, Carol Corrigan, you should read her dissenting opinion. She said this was bad precedent, and the court was overstepping their bounds. Justices Chin and Baxter also have very insightful opinions. Chin called it judicial jujitsu to get to the conclusion, stating it was very bad precedent. So, folks, before you jump to conclusions and base your opinions and the way you're going to vote on emotion and stories and all of those things, it would be nice to root it in what the actual background of this, what brought this proposition about and why. Because there was an overreaching judiciary. That's what this is really about. All these other issues are important, but you have a blurring of the role of your different branches of government. The benefits, we hear that a homosexual couple will not be able to visit their partner in the hospital if they're ill. You hear that. It's not true. And I'll tell you why. You can have civil contracts for any of those things. It's called the durable power of attorney for health purposes. You can name any other person you wish today to provide those types of decision-making if you're incapacitated. That happens all the time. It happens with elderly people, with other relatives. It happens with whoever they name that they want to name. And it's done with civil contracts. Every civil benefit the state of California can offer to gay couples is already in place. There have been cases after cases. So that already happens. So I don't think that's a compelling argument. And you will hear contrary info, but ask them to back it up with facts. And look at the civil contracts that can be done out there. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of flexibility. It is hostile. And it has the effect of producing a protected class of citizens. Now what does that mean? Protected class means their rights are superior to others. And what happens is, you heard some of the cases Mary Lee cited. I'll give you another one. Catholic Charities in Massachusetts has been in the business for a long time of giving kids, acting as an adoption agency for kids. But their morality, their theology tells them only children placed with one man and one woman is proper for that child. They are out of business now in Massachusetts because their religious teachings came in conflict with the state. The state has declared that homosexual couples are a protected class. Their rights are therefore superior to those people of faith. And it is happening, folks, and it's happening in Canada, it's happening in Great Britain today. So many times we have to be very careful because we start to get into a hate speech scenario where if you have a protected class and someone reads the Bible and it reads the parts where homosexuality is a sin, they are now declared to be spewing hate speech and are subject to fine and arrest. That is happening. And I would encourage each of you, just open a dictionary, just look at the definition. It's not that hard. And the reason it's in the dictionary with the definition of one man, one woman is it's been that way since Genesis. And there is a reason. So it has been around a long time. This is nothing new, what is being asked with Prop 8. We'll go on to C, children. It is best for children. The ideal for children is a family with one man and one woman. That is the ideal. It's not always achievable. We know it isn't. But we should strive for it. And it works, and it has worked forever. And we should not do things that tear down traditional marriage. I have been a elementary school board member for 12 years prior to being elected to the high school board. I see the problems and the expense that we go to when we have kids from broken families who don't have the luxury of one man and one woman. It's a tragedy. When you don't have these, the men in the household, these kids become juvenile delinquents. It's a huge problem. I ran a Big Brother program also, and let me tell you, not having a stable home for these kids is not good. And it is the ideal. You can say it isn't, but tearing down traditional institutions is bad for society, and it is not healthy. If this court decision is allowed to stand, it will have ramifications way beyond just marriage. It will cause textbooks to be changed in our state. Textbooks, for example, will be changed. California is a very large textbook market. When textbooks get changed in this state, it has an effect on other states. That's why the battleground is in California. If a religious institute sponsors, let's say, married housing, what happens when they're challenged in court by a same-sex couple that sues them, saying it's discrimination, and it goes against their theology and their morality? What's going to happen in court? So to say this does not impact people of religious faith is not true. It has huge, huge ramifications. It is as simple as ABC. Activist judges, to me, is absolutely the most profound aspect of this. Because it could come, sometimes you don't always want what you wish for. What happens next time these judges overreach their duty and their sworn oath and they do something you don't agree with? I think you would have a different opinion. Benefits. The benefits for same-sex couples right now will not be touched by the definition being a man and woman. They have what they have today, and they will continue to have the same benefits tomorrow after the election, whichever way it goes. So it does not change. So that is the red herring. And children will, again say, children grow best in a family, a man and a woman, in a stable relationship. We know that's the ideal. If it works, we should enhance that institution and support traditional marriage. So I ask you to vote yes on Prop 8. And if you want more information on Prop 8, go to protectmarriage.com. Get the facts. There's a lot of links there, and you can get a lot of good information. And that's protectmarriage.com. Thank you.